Now, I want to talk about a dude who has not even coached his first NFL regular season game yet, but Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel could very well be my favorite coach already. No hyperbole, not even hot take. I mean that. He might be my favorite coach already and has not coached a regular season game yet. No, in fact, check that. Mike McDaniel is my favorite coach in the NFL right now. He might be my favorite coach in any sport. And again, not only not a single regular season win to his name, not a single regular season game to his name. I cannot get enough of this guy. All of it. The look, the energy, the youth, him not taking himself that seriously, even though he's a Yale grad. And the fact that this dude is really bleeping funny. Like really funny. Like stand-up comedian moonlighting as an NFL head coach. Funny. That funny. And again, before game one of his head coaching career, this dude already has a highlight reel of absolute hilarity that's refreshing as hell from a profession of boring, cliche-ridden sound bites. Again, here's a guy who's yet to coach his first NFL regular season game, yet he's going to bring that kind of comedic heat nearly every time he gets in front of a mic or a camera. And even with this being the biggest week of this physically imposing dude's professional career, Mike is still cracking wise. He's still cracking jokes. He's still keeping the vibe light. You see, for the first ever NFL game, as a head coach, he is being tasked with the challenge of facing the GOAT himself, Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So while most people would be nervous as all hell, not Mike. Mike's not making more of this than what it is. And while complimenting the hood at yesterday's presser, he was also busy doing what he does best outside of coaching football, and that's making people laugh. This dude is so great. The master of self-deprecation. Talking about lining up mano-a-mano against the master of football and monotone mumbling during the biggest week of his career. And this dude's loose. That is gold. But you are wrong about that, Mike. Hell yes, the fans would pay for you and the hood to square off in an Oklahoma drill. Are you kidding me about that? Do not sell yourself short, my guy. I would pay stacks of cash to see that. In fact, I think I'm more into that than the game itself. We'd be licking our chops like the hood's kid does on the daily, waiting in anticipation of who would fire up first. You or the 70-year-old coach? Here's a question for you. Who would be A.J. Dillon and who would be the mascot here? Jokes aside, though, imagine being in this guy's shoes right now, a few days out from game one, and you've got Bill Belichick on the slate. When the hood was hired as New England's head coach in 2000, Mikey was a junior in high school. Hood's got 290 wins, 6 Lombardis, and Mike is stepping on the gridiron for the first time as the lead man against him. And instead of the hood being all up in his head, he's talking about squaring off in Oklahoma drills against this guy. I'm telling you, I could not like this guy or his vibe any more than I do right now. And Mumbler, for you, let me tell you something. You will enunciate, but you will not get in McDaniel's head. You may win, but you will not intimidate this cat because nothing does. And if he can scheme half as well as he can rap, it says here he can. Things are looking the hell up in Miami. No matter how much the owner there cheats, tampers, is away from the team for doing a bunch of crap that he should have never been doing. The coach, on the other hand, is funny, he's confident, he does not rattle or blink, and he never lets the moment get too big for him. And yes, I know I'm saying all this before he's even coached one game. Because as great as this sport is, and it is great, the sport needs more of this. More of this. This dude's so funny. I'm really excited to be here. But not nearly as excited as I am for all of you to see how physically imposing I am. And the sport needs so much more of that, guy. So much more of that. As great as the sport is. And as great as the sport is, it needs so much less of this. What happens if Jimmy plays better? I told you what's going to happen already. Jesus Christ. Mike McDaniel. I mean, he went with a JC blast right there. Mike McDaniels might be the 7th full-time head coach that the Dolphins have hired since the Mumbler showed up in New England. But I promise you this, he is nothing like the others because he's nothing like any other coach in the NFL right now. And I'm not the only one who loves this dude. You know who else does? Vegas. Vegas has the Dolphins favored by 3. Meaning for the first time since December of 2013, if this holds, and it should, a Bill Belichick-led Patriots squad will be going into a game with the Dolphins as underdogs. Incredible. I mean, Sunday cannot get here soon enough. Jesus Christ. Trust me, the Mumber's like, here we go again. Here we go again. Another new face in Miami that Radio Man loves. Are you kidding me on that Oklahoma drill, Radio Man? Hey, Radio Man, if you knew anything about anything. Hey, Steven, stop licking yourself. Hey, Radio Man, if you knew anything about anything. Low man wins, punk. He'll be the one pulling a Steven and licking his wounds when I A.J. Dillon his ass. It's not about speed. It's about playing with leverage, all right? But, of course, what would you know, Radio Man? What would you know? You and your nice air-conditioned studio in Los Angeles there? What do you know? You don't know jack. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, anyway, it's scoreboard, Radio Man. Isn't that your own phrase? Look up at it. Look up at it after the game's done. I will, Hood. I will. I got to be honest. As we go into this gambling season, I've promised myself to bet unemotionally, to bet objectively, to never bet with my heart and only my head, to bet with discipline. I think I'm going to lay those points. I love this guy. Hasn't even coached a game yet, and I'm willing to lay the points with him against the GOAT. I think. No, I know.